Let's suppose that a line contains 2 points, and those 2 points are x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2. The equation for the slope is the difference in the y values, y sub 2 minus y sub 1, divided by the difference in the x values, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And it does not matter which y value you start with, so we could have done y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Just make sure that whichever y value you start with the x value that is in the same point. So that is the equation for the slope. Sometimes we think of slope as rise over run. So let's suppose that we have a line that contains the points negative 7, 3 and 5, negative 1. Let's find the slope of the line that contains those points. So according to my formula, I need to subtract the y's. I'll start with this point. y2 is negative 1, and y1 would be positive 3. So negative 1 minus 3 divided by 5 minus negative 7. 1 minus 3 is negative 4. 5 minus negative 7 is 12. And we know that 4 divides into both of those numbers, so I could simplify that to negative 1/3. Now, let's suppose that you found your slope by starting with the y in the first point. We would have 3 minus the y value in the second point divided by negative 7 minus 5. Well, 3 minus negative 1 is 3 plus 1, which is 4, and negative 7 minus 5 is negative 12, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So it doesn't matter what order you subtract, you will still get the same slope. Okay, so let's take an application problem. This says a company charting its profits notices the relationship between the number of units sold, X, and the profit, P, is linear. So we want to find the rate of change. What does that mean? Rate of change means slope of the profit. If 600 units sold results in a $4,574 profit, and 675 units sold results in an $8,924 profit. So what we do is we think of this as sets of ordered pairs. And X is the number of units sold. So our first statement says if 600 units are sold, our profit is 4,574. So our P will be our Y value. If 675 units are sold, our profit is 8,924. So if we're asked for the rate of change, we just want to know the slope. So I will take my Y values and subtract them over my X values subtracted. And now if I go to my calculator, 8924 minus 4574 is 4,350, and 675 divided by 600 is 75. So if I divide that out, I get 58. Now remember, the top amounts were our dollars, And the bottom amount were our units. These were units, and these were dollars. So we need to put 58 as dollars per unit. And what that means is that for every unit sold, you're going to make $58.